Hello guys, I'm Fa. So we'll start with projectile speed. The faster projectile speed, the farther projectiles can travel. The slower projectile speed, the shorter projectiles can travel. So this is very simple, and sometimes your skill is not feel good, so you can just try to scale some projectile speed and hopefully it will be feel good. And we have an ugly demonstrations. I think it's very simple and make you easier to understand, because the gameplay is too fast. You don't know what happened. The projectile is everywhere. I don't think it's a good idea. So behaviors. So projectiles have 5 behaviors. It is split, pierce, fork, chain, and return. And projectiles can have all of these behaviors at the same time. I make a big mistake before. I think pierce projectiles cannot chain, so this is the biggest mistake I make. It actually can do all behaviors. It will first do split, and then pierce, fork, chain, and the last will be return. Let's say you have split on your projectiles, 1 pierce, 1 fork, 1 chain, and you have return on your projectiles. So you fire a single projectile to our enemies, so this will be hit, and then it will do split to here, and then split to here. Split here and split here. So now it will do pierce. So it pierce, hit this guy, pierce here, hit this guy, and pierce here, hit this guy. And now it will do fork. So fork direction is fixed like this, 60 degree, like this. So it will hit this guy, and this one probably will miss. So, and then these projectiles will 60 degree like this. You hit this guy, and 60 degree like this. You hit this guy. So now the projectiles do fork, and then it will do chain, right? It will chain like this, or maybe it will chain like this. Okay, so let's say it chain like this, and then this one chain like this, and this one chain like this, and we have no remaining chain, and it will start to return to you, right? So it will hit this guy, the projectile will stop here. So these projectiles will hit this guy, try to return to you, and hit this guy, will stop here. And these projectiles will try to go back to you. Maybe it will hit this guy and it stop here. So the most confused thing is about single target, I believe. So you have to know every behaviors can hit a single target once, right? But this is how they say, but it's not true. Like you hit this guy, right? And then it split. The split are no way to come back to hit this guy again. So it basically split won't help you deal a single target DPS. And pierce also the same, right? So let's say you pierce, right? 1 hit and you pierce, okay? So it only 1 hit, right? So it only 1 hit. So pierce basically doesn't help single target. It help with return, right? If pierce plus return, it help, right? But only pierce behaviors, right? It not help your single target DPS. And fork also the same. You hit the guy and then it fork, right? It no way you can return to hit this guy again. So the only behaviors help a single target DPS, only chain and return in the most case, right? Maybe you can do extra split, like split here and come back to him, maybe, but I don't know you can get any extra split or not. I'm not sure. If you can have 2 split, like it split to here and it split again back to here, yes, you can deal split damage to this guy again, only once, right? So for now, I'm not sure, is it extra split possible? I don't know. So in the most case, you can only have chain and return on a single target. So something I have to mention is like if you have chain and return on your projectiles, like you fire this and then it chain one time and it return to you. It chain one time and return to you. And this guy will take 2 hits, and this guy will take 1 hit, right? So let's say you have two chain, right? So let's say you have 2 chain, and then it will be and no return, no fork, no pierce. So you fire your projectiles, hit this 1 hit, and then it chain to here, and then you have 1 remaining chain. Maybe this chain will chain back to this guy because this guy have never been chained. So maybe this one will chain to this, right? So you have no remaining chain, and this guy will take 2 hits, and this guy will take 1 hit, 1 hit, 1 hit, right? So this is a little bit complicated if you wanna explain this. I know this is very hard content to do and very hard to explain. So I hope you can understand, right? So let's say you have 2 pairs, no fork, no split, and 2 chain and 1 return. We have the last demonstrations right here. Okay, so you fire a single projectiles, it pierce 1 time, 2 time, hit this guy, right? So you don't have remaining pierce, and then you have 2 remaining chain. It will be chain right here, and it might be chain right here, right? So it return to you now. It return to you, and then it will come back here and hit this guys and stop, right? So this guy will take 2 hit. This is basically how it works. And projectiles also will deal something like explode damage. If the projectile skill you use have explode like Molten Strike, this is another cases. Basically every skill is different because not every skill work the same. So for example, Molten Strike, okay, Molten Strike, it have return. Molten Strike cannot have split, cannot have pierce, cannot have fork, cannot have chain. And then you hit this guy, and your projectile speed is minimum, very slow, okay. So you hit this guy, it spawn like 4 projectiles. Because your projectiles is very slow, it basically cannot go anywhere. And then the projectiles land on the enemy and it deal explode damage. So it will hit 4 times in this case, but not every explode projectile skill can achieve this. Like rolling magma cannot deal explode damage to the same target from 1 cast. So this is every skill is different. So you have to make sure you have to check the skill itself on the on the POE wiki to make sure the explode it work or not. For what I know, Molten Strike is work, right? So you deal 4 projectiles to the target, and then now the projectiles try to come back to you, but they can't because the attack speed, because the projectile speed is too slow. Like it land and it try to come back to you, but it can't because it's slow, man. It's slow, right? So it will do another explode, like another projectiles will come back to you, try to come back to you, try to come back to you, but they can't, right? Because they're slow. So in this case, we will get another 4 explode hits. So it total will be 8 hits. Explode hit, right? Explode hit. So this is how explode work on projectiles, but Once again, not every explore projectile skill can achieve this. You have to check on POE wiki to make sure the explore work on single target. So we will do another 2 demonstrations. After that, we will going to end this video. So let's talk about tornado shot. Tornado shot. So let's say you have 1 primary projectiles. It land. It will pierce all this target and it land here. And the secondary projectiles will be random directions. It may be like this and like this. 4 secondary projectiles, right? So this guy will get 1 hit. This guy will get 1 hit. This 4 guy will get 1 hit, pierce hit from your primary projectiles. The interesting part about tornado shot say every secondary projectiles from different primary projectiles can hit a same target. So it means this is the bad luck guy right here. So you fire 3 primary projectiles from tornado shot, and it just happened the secondary projectiles all roll to this guy, right? It will do 3 hits. This one. But no matter how many secondary projectiles successful roll these directions, it's not gonna be do like 12 hit, right? Because secondary projectiles will hit a same target once. It will be 1 hit secondary projectiles from this, 1 hit secondary projectiles from this, and 1 hit secondary projectiles from this. But something very interesting about this leak, Deadeye Ricochet. So Deadeye Ricochet say it had chance chain with terrain 30%, and if you get charms, right? Let's say you get charms and scale the chance chain with terrain up to 100. So you have guarantee chain with terrain, and then it will do something crazy, because let's say your secondary projectiles hit this, hit this, hit this, okay, and then one of these come to here and it chain to here, one of these come to here, it chain to this, one of these come to here. If your chaining range is far enough, it can chain to this guy, and then it is the same, right? So let's say this projectiles chain to this guy, and this projectiles chain here and back to this guy. It's not gonna take 2 hits, right? Because you already take the chain hit from here, so this not gonna be hit. It will still do the hit actions, but it's a illusions. It's not gonna be hit. So there are many crazy things. It happened very quick. So it will chain like chain this, maybe chain this, maybe chain this, maybe chain this, something like that. So there are many chain happen on tornado shot. If you have chain, if you have 100% chain with terrain, so it will be crazy. So this is basically how tornado shot work, right? So this is only 3 projectiles, right? If you say you have 5 or 10, it will be crazy. Even single target, it will be crazy. It chain like chain. There are many chain, right? So why the hell tornado shot is so good? Because you have, crazy chain on single target. Even on single target, for the map clearing is insane, right? It's no doubt, right? So the last demonstrations will be lightning strike. Lightning strike is very lightning strike of arcing. Okay, arcing. So lightning strike is a very special skill. You can hit the ground and hit the target in one attack. So the ground hit also count as new attack. This is attack 1, so this is attack 2. So you deal 1 attack, you do 1 attack move, and then you deal 2 hits, right? So this is different hit, right? This is attack 1, this is attack 2. So you can just separate them and then count double damage, right? So it will do the rest. It can hit chain from attack 2, chain from attack 1. So it can do 2 attack on the same target in this case. But we don't go too complicated. So let's say arcing, right? 9 chain, no fog, no split. Let's say no split. Okay, you have 2 pierce and return. Okay, so you have 1 projectiles. So it will do pierce, 1 pierce, 2 pierce. So there are no pierce remaining. It will hit this guy and start the chain. It basically will chain back to this guy. So this guy take 2 hit, and then it will chain to this guy, maybe 2 hit, and then 1 chain, 2 chain, 3 chain, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and it start to return, and it will hit this guy and stop here. So this is how lightning strike of arcing work if you have 2 pierce, 9 chain, and return. So let's say something about different situations. So let's say you just fire a projectiles like pierce, right? It pierce, right? But you just miss the line, right? Just happen, cross here. You hit nothing, outgoing projectiles. So you still have 2 remaining pierce, 9 chain, and 1 return. So when you miss all of this monster, it come back, right? It come back to you. Let's say you move a little bit down here and it come back to you, right? So it return, there are no more return. It return and hit this guy. So now what happened? It not gonna be 2 chain, it will do pierce. 1 pierce, 2 pierce, and hit this guy, right? So there are no remaining pierce. It will starting to do chain, and it will do something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the projectiles will stop here. So this is basically how lightning strike of arcing work. If you have pierced and you have return and you have chain. We're still going to one more demonstrations about lightning strike of arcing. Let's say arcing. So let's say you are dead eye. You have 30%. You have 100% chance to 100% chance chain from terrain. Terrain means wall or some block, some, you know. So this is some, and you have 2 projectiles. You have 4 projectiles. Right? And then you have all of it, right? 1 pierce, 1 split, 1 fog. You cannot have this, all of this basically, but let's say you have all of this, right? So 9 chain, arcing, right? And 1 return. So you have 4 projectiles, and you just hit the ground and the target at the same time, right? So you have 4 projectiles. It will spawn 4 projectiles. You haven't deal, you not deal projectile hit to the target on this hit, right? This is melee hit. This is melee hit. And then it spawned 4 projectiles, like, right? If you have Nemesis, it might do something like this, like this, like this, okay? So you do 1 melee hit, melee. And then you have 100% chain, 100% chance to chain with terrain. So this guy will come back to hit this. And this also will come back to hit, right? And this will also come back to hit. But no matter how many chain hit on this target, the only first hit, you know, probably this one will deal damage to the target, and another two, they chain from the wall to the target. It not gonna deal extra damage, it not hit, it's just an illusions, and you deal 2 hit, right? Chain hit once, and this guy, as you see, this guy, it go to behind you, right? And it return to you, and it not gonna be stopped here, right? It will continue going, keep going, and hit the target again. So you get return hit, right? Return hit. So you have 3 hits in total on this attack, right? Only this attack. So and then, so it's a little bit long, you know. So you have 3 hits, melee, chain, and return hit. Okay, so this is this one, this attack, and you hit the ground right here. If you lucky enough, right, projectiles straight to the single target. So this is point blank hit, right? Because the projectile is not travel far away. So these projectiles will pierce, and then it will return because it hit the wall, and there are no target right here, no target right nearby, so it cannot chain, right? There are no target to chain, and it hit the wall and come back to you and deal the return projectile hit. So it deal point blank hits on the target, which is small damage, and return far short, right? This is far short range already, and return hit 2 hit, right? 2 hit. And maybe you fire a random directions like this, like this, like this. So if you have enough chaining range, it will come back to the target, hit the target, and come back to you, because return, right? Come back to you. But like I say, behaviors, every behaviors can hit a single target once. So no matter how many chain from terrain on this guy, and maybe it chain to terrain again and go back again, and chain again and go back again, infinite, right? Infinite chaining, right? It's only deal 1 hit, right? This attack, this one, this attack, chain and chain hit, that's all, right? All other chains just an illusions. No matter you saw how many chain on the target from the same attack, it's just an illusions. So it will only deal 3 extra hit, right? So it will be point blank, return, and chain. So I think this is the video today. Hope you understand what I'm saying. And I just learned this before I make it, because I think I mislead many players already. Before I do many, like I make many lightning strike projectiles, lightning strike build guide. Like I'm just saying, like yeah, it's only count 1. If there are 2 hits on the, if there are 2 return hit on the target, it going to be 200 million or something like that. It's not true, guys. I'm sorry. I just know that recently, so sorry, right? I don't explain split and fork on these demonstrations, but basically the split actually not a new projectiles, is considered same projectiles, right? Outgoing projectile, it's split, it's still the same projectiles, right? When it's split on the target from the target, right? It no way to hit the target again with split behaviors. So it will return and it can't return hit, right? It will chain and it can't return chain hit, right? So the split basically won't help the single target, because split away and there are no way come back. If they come back, that can't return or chain hit already, right? Also pierce also not help, because you pierce and then you hit. So this is outgoing main projectile hit, also pierce, okay, and return count as return, right? Even the pierce also count as return hit, and chain hit work the same. They chain on the wall and go back to the single target. It no way you deal pierce hit, right? No way you deal pierce hit. Pierce just help you have better mapping experience. Work the same on fork. You have no way to hit twice in same target with fork. Chain and return. Only these two can achieve more hit, more projectile hit on the same target. So I think this is the video today. Hope you don't mind the ugly demonstrations. I think this will be more easy for you to understand. So I think see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.